A busy hospital courtyard. The signboard shows the audiology department. A middle-aged man, Sukumaran, is waiting there for his turn. Just then a message came on his phone. That's a message from his daughter. The message on the phone shows, "Dad, are you on the way?" He sends an audio message in response to his daughter's message. He held his phone close and said, "No, honey, I'm just waiting to see the doctor." Then he said, "Honey, I think I'll be there by late evening. If I'm going to be late getting there today, I'll stay at Uncle Philip's house and come to the hostel to meet you tomorrow morning. Is that okay for you, honey?" he asked to his daughter.
She replied to his voice message with a text saying, "That's okay, Dad." And then she asked, "Dad, did you buy all the stationery I asked you to get?"
In response, he said, "No, honey, it's busy here, so I didn't get time to buy everything you asked for. I'll buy it on the way there." That's when he heard token number 23, Sukumaran, on the hospital speaker. Hearing that, he told his daughter to see her tomorrow, hung up the phone, and walked to the doctor's room. Sukumaran greeted the doctor and took the seat in front of her. The doctor glanced at the audiogram test results placed on the table in front of her and said, "The test looks fine. Did you buy the hearing aid I mentioned?" Hearing this, Sukumaran replied, "No, doctor. My wife ordered it online. It's supposed to be delivered today. Since I had an appointment with you, I thought I'd come in person and check the audiogram results." Hearing this, the doctor said, "That's okay. Next time you come, bring your daughter along. We need to test it on your daughter's ear." After saying this, the doctor opened the drawer of her desk, took out a hearing aid, and introduced Sukumaran to its buttons and function. After hearing the doctor's next appointment date, Sukumaran said goodbye to the doctor and left. Sukumaran is driving his old Maruti car through the crowded market road. Sweating and glancing at his watch. Soon, he turns onto a slightly wider street. His phone rings from the dashboard. He puts it on speaker. It's his friend Tahir. "Bro, did you reach?" Tahir asks. "I went to Chala Market to buy a few things and got stuck in traffic," Sukumaran replies. "You wait there. I'll come now." He ends the call and keeps driving. He increased the speed of the vehicle a little. Soon, Sukumaran reached a slum-like area and parked under a railway bridge. Tahir, who was leaning on a bike and smoking, saw him, threw the cigarette away, and walked toward the car. Sukumaran smiled at Tahir and opened the car's dashboard. All the things inside spilled out. He picked up just one diary and put everything else back. Then he stepped out of the car with the diary in his hand. Leaning against the car, he opened it. By then, Tahir had come a little closer. After taking out 2 photos of the girls from the diary, he wrote Sara on the back of one and Manuja on the other. Smiling at the photos, Tahir picked up Sara's and said, "Bro, it's Sara they really want. So don't forget to bring her along with Manuja. This deal is only for her." After confirming everything was on track, they talked about the clients arriving the next day from Mumbai. Then Sukumaran called Manuja. He told her he would pick up both girls in front of the Punjabi restaurant near Van Rose Junction. When he asked to speak to Sarah, Manuja said she had gone out and would call once she returned. After the call, Tahir, who had been listening, asked, "Bro, Sarah's not there? She'll come, right?" Sukumaran replied, "Why so tense? She'll be there, don't worry." By that time, a train had passed over the bridge. Inside a modest-looking beauty parlor, a middle-aged woman with heavy makeup and her young assistant were casually sharing beauty tips while applying makeup to 2 clients. A car stopped outside. Hearing the sound, the woman said, "I think my husband's here." She turned to the client she was working on and said, "Excuse me for a moment," then took off her gloves, wiped her hands, and stepped outside. It was Sukumaran. Sukumaran got out of the car and began gathering the items he had placed on the back seat. As he was loading them into the shopping cart, his wife walked up to him and asked, "What's taking you so long? If you leave now, won't you reach Coimbatore too late?" Without looking up, he replied, "I'm not going all the way today. I'll stay at little Philip's house tonight and go to the hostel tomorrow morning to see our daughter. I already called him and left him a message." As Sukumaran handed over the shopping bags one by one, the woman asked, "Did you buy the makeup remover?" Sukumaran nodded with a hint of weariness. "That's what delayed me. I had to go all the way to Chala Market for it. Got stuck in traffic on the way back." Hearing this, his wife came over and said, "You got the advance from the client, right? Then give me the shop rent." Sukumaran replied, "The client will pay the full amount the day after tomorrow." Not satisfied, she asked again, "But you already got the advance. Can't you give the rent from that?" Slightly annoyed, Sukumaran said, "Sarah had an urgent need. She asked if I could give her the full payment now, so I gave it to her." Hearing this, his wife grew visibly angry and said, "Do you believe everything those prostitutes say? One day you'll learn the hard way. Only then will you understand what I've been warning you about, that Sarah is nothing but a shameless slut." With that, she turned and began walking away. Then, pausing for a moment, she looked back at Sukumaran and added coldly, "And shave your beard before you go to the hostel." Sukumaran rubbed his stubbled chin and headed toward the steps leading up to the apartment. Just then, his wife called out from behind, "The list of things our daughter asked for is on top of the fridge." After saying this, she went back into the beauty parlor, and Sukumaran headed upstairs to the room. He opened the apartment door and stepped inside. Passing a wall scribbled with marker doodles, he grabbed a towel and headed straight to the bathroom. Through the mirror in his room, we see Sukumaran busily getting ready to leave. He combed his hair, buttoned his shirt, then walked straight to the kitchen and took the list of items his daughter had asked for. After glancing through it, he picked up a new pack of hearing aids lying nearby. He looked at it for a moment, sighed, and slipped it into his pants pocket. While putting on his shoes, Sukumaran picked up the phone and called Sarah, but she didn't answer. He immediately called Manuja. "Manuja, where is Sarah?" he asked. With a hint of hesitation, she replied, "No, Anna, she told me she'd come in the evening." But something in her tone made Sukumaran suspicious. Sensing she was hiding something, he raised his voice slightly. "Tell me the truth, Manuja. Where did Sarah go?" After a pause, Manuja said, "Anna, I think she might have gone to one of her boyfriend's places." "Boyfriend?" Sukumaran snapped. "Where did she go?" "It's a guy who studies with her," Manuja explained. "She might have gone to his house in Coimbatore." "Coimbatore?" Sukumaran shouted. "And you're telling me this now? Everyone's coming the day after tomorrow. I gave you your share from the advance. She took hers too and disappeared." Manuja quickly tried to calm him. "Oh, Anna, I was just guessing. I don't think she'd really do that." "Tell me where in Coimbatore she went," Sukumaran demanded. "If you know the address, give it to me." Manuja replied quickly, "Avinashi Road, Opanakara Street, house number 288, Coimbatore." Just then the doorbell rang. "WhatsApp me the address, okay?" Sukumaran said, ending the call and heading to the front door. Sukumaran walked up to the door and peered through the peephole. "Someone I don't recognize," he thought. He opened the door to find a young woman standing there, holding a file. "I'm here for the census, sir," she said politely. Sukumaran frowned and said, "Why now? Can't you come later? I'm a bit busy." The woman gave a small apologetic smile. "Sir, I've already been here once or twice. No one was home either time. This won't take long." He sighed. Though visibly in a hurry, he relented and gave her the necessary details: his name, address, his wife's occupation, and everything else she asked. As she jotted things down, her eyes wandered to the wall behind him, where a series of colorful sketches caught her attention. "Sir, are you an artist?" she asked, smiling with curiosity. Sukumaran laughed lightly. "Me? No, not at all. Those were done by my daughter. She's the artist in the house." Just then a door across the corridor creaked open. His neighbor stepped out, eyeing the scene with quiet suspicion. The census worker finished her notes, thanked him, and walked away. Sukumaran turned and caught the lingering stare of his neighbor. stepped back inside, and quietly shut the door behind him. Sukumaran placed the stationary items in his cart, checked off his list, and proceeded to the cash counter. After paying the bill, he asked the young man at the counter, "Bro, is there a toilet in this building?" "Yes, sir," the boy replied, pointing toward a side corridor. Sukumaran left his shopping bags on the counter and followed the direction. But when he reached the toilet, he found the door locked. He returned and informed the boy. "The security guy has the key, sir. He's out for lunch. Please wait a bit," the boy said. "Oh, never mind," Sukumaran replied with a smile. He picked up his bags, walked out of the shop, and headed to his parked car. Placing the 3 bags on the front seat, he carefully took the hearing aid for his daughter from his pocket, tucked it safely into a bag, and drove away. It was evening. A dry tree stood alone in the middle of the barren land. In the distance, Sukumaran's car moved slowly along a dusty road. Dark clouds were gathering above as if following him. He looked up at the sky and felt uneasy when he heard thunder. The FM radio lost its signal and went silent, so he turned it off. He tried calling Sarah again, but her phone was still switched off. Feeling worried, he called his friend Kochu Philip in Coimbatore. "Hey Kochu, I'm on the way," Sukumaran said. "Great, come fast, I've opened your favorite drink," Kochu Philip replied cheerfully, but Sukumaran said, "Not in the mood today." "Why, bro, is something wrong?" Kochu Philip asked. "Yeah, small problem. Sarah left yesterday and hasn't come back. Her phone is off." "Where is she now?" Kochu Philip asked, sounding serious. "Manuja said Sarah went with some boy who used to study with her," Sukumaran said, his voice tinged with worry. "I heard she's staying at that boy's place somewhere on Open Nakara Street in Coimbatore." There was a brief silence on the other end of the call. Kochu Philip's voice finally broke through, surprised and uneasy. "What? She's here?" "Yes," Sukumaran confirmed quietly. "She's there." Sukumaran took a breath and added, "Bro, we'll have to go there and bring her back tomorrow." Hearing the worry in Sukumaran's voice, Kochu Philip tried to sound reassuring. "It's okay, bro," he said. "Let's go to bro's daughter's hostel first thing in the morning, and from there, we'll head straight to Apanakara. That place is just about 8 kilometers from here, right?" Then, after a brief pause, he added with a hint of doubt, "Bro, can I ask you something? Did you give her any advance for the work you asked her to do?" Sukumaran hesitated for a moment before replying, his voice now more anxious. "No, not in advance. I gave her the full payment. I didn't think she'd cheat us like this. Looks like everything might fall apart." Philip let out a frustrated sigh. "That's really careless, bro. But don't worry. Why wait until tomorrow? I'll go get her out of there tonight itself. I know a couple of guys in Apanakara who can help." His tone turned serious. "Just WhatsApp me the address of that Sarah's boyfriend, right now. Give me 15 minutes. I'll call you back," he added firmly. "Bro, just stay calm. Everything will be fine. She's not going to vanish after playing a trick like this." With that, Kochu Philip hung up. Without wasting a second, Sukumaran forwarded him the address of Sarah's boyfriend's house in Apanakara. Feeling a bit relieved, Sukumaran pulled the car over to the side of the road. The place was silent, except for the steady chorus of crickets and the occasional croak of frogs. It was a lonely stretch, barely touched by human presence. was just a rare vehicle coming past in the distance. He stood still, absorbing the solitude, when suddenly his phone rang. Sukumaran flicked the cigarette to the ground and quickly picked up the call. It was Kochu Philip.
What happened? Sukumaran asked anxiously. Kochu Philip's voice came through the phone, tense but controlled.
Bro, my guys went to the house, but it was locked. When they asked around, the locals said that only the boy had been staying there for the past 3 days. His parents are out of town, gone somewhere far away. He paused for a second, then added, the neighbors also said the boy hasn't been seen since yesterday. If we go by what you suspected, it's possible that he left with Sarah. Sukumaran's face stiffened. His grip tightened around the phone as the weight of the situation sank in. Oh no, this is getting too complicated, he muttered. What are we going to do now? Sensing Sukumaran's panic, Kochu Philip spoke in a calming tone. Bro, don't be scared. I just got a lead. One of my contacts traced a friend of that boy, Sarah's boyfriend, in TVS Nagar. It seems likely he might have gone there, and if he's there, Sarah must be with him too. There was a pause. Then he added with a hint of frustration. I don't know TVS Nagar well. If I did, I'd have handled it tonight itself. But don't worry. You just come here and rest for the night. We'll go together first thing in the morning. I promise, nothing will go wrong, he said with quiet certainty. And with that, Kochu Philip hung up the call. Sukumaran let out a deep sigh, slipped his phone into his pocket, and got into the car. He started the engine and drove away into the night. As Sukumaran took a few sips of water from a bottle, a sudden urge to urinate struck him. Just then, his vehicle passed an area where old, rusted vehicles lay abandoned. Spotting a quiet side road, he pulled over and stepped out. As he walked toward a secluded corner, ready to relieve himself, a fallen born on the ground caught his eye. Please do not urinate here. Use the nearest toilet. He glanced to his left and saw a rundown public toilet a short distance away. The urge now unbearable, he hurried toward it. The place reeked of filth and decay, but he rushed into the first stall, slammed the door shut, and began urinating. As relief washed over him, his gaze drifted to the dirty, cracked mirror in front of him, and froze. Reflected in the glass was the lifeless body of a young man, probably in his 20s. His heart pounded in his chest. And his hand trembled as it reached for the door handle. Just then, he heard the sound of a girl sobbing. Rushed footsteps echoing through the building as someone ran inside. He froze.
Sukumaran held his breath and stood motionless, terrified near the boy's dead body.
Sukumaran realized that the perpetrators had stuffed something into her mouth to muffle her screams. Realizing they had taken the girl into the next stall, Sukumaran cracked open the door to escape, but he froze. Someone was standing outside, guarding the toilets. Heart pounding, he quietly shut the door again. Sukumaran stood with his head bowed in helpless regret. Then came a sickening thud, the sound of iron striking the girl's head. The horror of it made his head reel. He grabbed the wall for support, barely able to stand. Just as the two attackers reached the toilet exit, Sukumaran's phone suddenly rang out loud and sharp in the silence. Panicking, he tried to muffle it with his hand, but it was too late. He knew they had heard it. He froze, heart pounding, as he heard the footsteps of one of them turning back, slowly approaching the stall where he was hiding. Sukumaran stood motionless, drenched in sweat, fear gripping his entire body. He had no strength to run, no courage to resist. The handle of the toilet door began to rattle. The man outside was trying to open it. Then a voice called out from near the exit. "Hey, that's just the dead guy's phone, you idiot! Come on, let's get the hell out of here!" The footsteps paused, then turned and moved away. Sukumaran exhaled shakily, still trembling, realizing he had escaped by a hair's breadth. Once sure they were gone, Sukumaran slowly opened the toilet door. As he stepped out, a faint moan came from the next stall. The girl was still alive. A chill ran down his spine, heart pounding. He moved closer and said, "I heard everything, child. I'll call the police. Don't be afraid. They'll be here soon." He turned and fled. Back in the car, he slammed the door shut. Hands shaking, he grabbed his phone but couldn't bring himself to dial. His mind raced, guilt, fear, helplessness. He sat there, lips trembling, head buried in his hands. After a while, the engine started. The car pulled away and vanished into the night.